Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Hello, I thought I'd make a quick video on new stuff that's coming up in 2018, plus some futuristic stuff and what I'm excited about. Mainly just on the main championships, but just nothing exciting, just a few things. So first of all, Formula 1. New championship starts soon. The first cars are being released later this month. I think Williams are the first team to introduce them. I'm very excited to looking forward to seeing these cars. The reason why the Halo, I mean, it's disgusting. It's horrible, isn't it? I mean, hopefully it'll only be around for a season or two and they'll do full cockpits and stuff, but at the moment it's just a quick bodge job, isn't it, you know? Hopefully Liberty Media will listen to it. Also, speaking of Liberty Media, they did announce the new Grid Kids thing, which is pretty cool actually, because they do it in football, don't they? When they bring the kids out and stuff, so maybe that'll be a bit more interesting, give kids a chance to be up there. I mean, I know there's a big thing about grid girls and stuff, but I don't think it's against them personally. I think it's just trying to get more kids involved, younger people, different audience, try new things. I don't think it's against women at all. Alfa Romeo, of course, are coming back, only as a sponsor, but they're hoping for a full works team apparently, but I didn't think Alfa Romeo was that big anymore and that they'd do something like that. So to sponsor Sauber is a really good idea. So that'll be interesting. Of course, there's new driver shake-ups all over the group. We've got Charles Leclerc joining Alfa Romeo team, and Renault have mixed it up with Hülkenberg and Sainz, which will be nice. So I think it'll be quite an interesting year. Hopefully it's a bit more closer. McLaren obviously in Renault engines. Hopefully it'll be a bit more close this year. The French GP is back. Paul Ricard will be the first triple-header weekend we've sort of had in F1. And what I mean by that is usually there's a race every other weekend, and then once or twice it's like a race between 2 weeks. But now we've got 3 weeks in a row, so it'll be quite interesting. A bit stressful, but it's European, so it's not too far distance travelling. It might test the drivers a bit more. They're also looking at ideas to change the grid formats, like 3 abreast and stuff like that. But hopefully they're trying to keep it a bit more simple than trying to expand a bit more, and we'll see what happens. WEC Super Season Le Mans, all starting this year. It's coming over from 2018. It'll finish next year in 2019. It'll be a full sort of big year. It's really exciting. Obviously, Toyota have decided to stay in the championship probably because they think they'll easily dominate. But I don't think so. It'll be very exciting this year because we've got loads of privateers, especially in LMP1. We've got the new Dragon Speed car, Ginetta racing with Manor, and there's going to be a few teams. So it'll be really interesting to see how well it is, and it'll be a bit more closer, of course. Then you move down the LMP2 is as close as it ever has been, where they've minimalised the rules now, any manufacturers can be in there. And then GTE, we've got the brand new Aston Martin, which will be fantastic to see on the track for testing. And then you've got Ford, Corvette, BMW with the new car, so it's going to be very interesting with that as well. So I think it'll be quite a good super season. Of course, they did a survey online. If anyone took it on the Motorsport, I did myself, and the fans can just write a bit about it and what they think about the championship and any changes they can do, and hopefully it'll be really good. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it this year start off. And in fact, I think in 2 days' time is the media day, so it'll be very interesting to see the cars, liveries, teams line up, how they affect in testing. Of course, the Toyota will have the upper hand, but I think it'll be very interesting. If there's any problems in the Le Mans race like there was last year, LMP1 privateer could win Le Mans. It'll be the first time since before Audi dominated, so it'll be a long time. It'll be very interesting. Then if we go into World Rally Championship, of course, kicked off in Monte Carlo, Sebastian Ogier winning again. Their opening day was at the Autosport Motor Show in January last month, which I was there at. It was very interesting. We've got 4 big manufacturers, with Ford putting in more impact, more into M Sport now. So we've got Ford, Toyota, Citroen and Hyundai. So it'll be very interesting. Hyundai really want to win. I know everyone wants to win, but Hyundai really want to win it. I think they've got the package to do it. They've just got to take care of Ogier. Impossible. But who knows? Anything can happen. Toyota looking very quick with the first double podium of the season. Tenax and Latvala, very quick drivers. Citroen again, dark horses. Be very interesting the rest of the season, I think. See how that gets on. So looking for more local championships of NASCAR. Quick one on Danica Patrick back for the Daytona 500 and the Indianapolis 500 before she retires. So, a bit sad. She has kind of a mixed career, but see how good she does in them. And we've got the new shape Chevy Camaro running for all the Chevy teams, and it's going to be, they've already seen that test, and we've got a new circuit layout in Charlotte Motor Speedway doing the sort of road, what they call road course circuit, rather than an oval at that particular track. Again, another long champion, but it should be very interesting, see how well the Toyotas get on this year. They've sort of tried to make it a bit closer. And there's some very interesting drivers in it as well. They've moved up loads of new drivers like Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman. There's all these new drivers coming in, so it'll be quite interesting to see youth versus experience this year. It'll be pretty good. IndyCar, again, sort of similar aspect, but they've got a brand new coach that's really good, and IndyCar said they're not going to run the Halo at all, so they're not FIA, they're a completely different championship, but they are thinking of like an aero screen or something, and they said the Halo won't work on ovals, which I don't think it will anyway, the way the drivers are looking compared to where the Halo is. So it'll be quite interesting to see what they come up with as well, and maybe rival the Formula 1 world in that respect. So IndyCar's always been a little bit quieter, but hopefully they might do something nice. It'll be good to see their own technologies and their own ideas. Then you've got local touring car championships. I'll start off with the big ones: International WTCR, the World Touring Car Cup, combination of TCR and the World Touring Car Championship. Big championship, 26 cars is confirmed for big manufacturer, sort of manufacturer back teams running sort of TCR rules, but huge name drivers all come over from the World Touring Car Championship. You know, Hoff's already confirmed, Bernani's confirmed, Michelitz, Tarquini, you've got Hyundai, Seat, Volkswagen, Audi, loads of big names there, so it'll be really interesting, good season. I can't wait for that to kick off again. Probably one of the best touring car championships to watch this year, I reckon, definitely. And hopefully it'll be a big change, you know, seeing a competitive grid, not a small grid, you know. On the world stage it'll be really good, and of course all the races are live streamed on YouTube. And then you've got all the national TCR championships like Germany, Italy, like the Middle East ones, Iberia, I think Brazil are thinking of doing one. You got TCR running in America now in like support races, and they're racing at the Daytona 500 in one of the support categories as well, so it's huge. I know the Pro World Championship Series are using them now, so it is quite interesting to see how they get on. Of course they race in 24-hour series, so that's a massive world change for touring cars. It'll be really interesting to see how they've gone this year, so that'll be really good. And then you've got TCR UK, which is starting this year, which hopefully going to go to, which looks pretty good as well. Another stepping stone for drivers, especially when we get more British drivers in the World Championships as well. We can step them up a bit more, so that'll be quite good. So they're racing at national circuits as well. Then you've got DTM Germany, like the last spec rules of these cars, and they've sort of torn between two. I think now they're thinking either Super GT with Japan, which they should have done a while ago, I think, and race for them, or GTE rules, which are Le Mans sort of fast GT3 cars. So they're all manufacturer ones, but they could fit rules for those cars, which means they can have cars from GT that race in Le Mans in their national championship. So I don't know, I think they should go for something cheaper maybe. And TCR Germany has a 40 plus car field, where DTM struggling to do 20, so they need something a bit more cost effective, something they can use universally, which is what Champions needs to look at now, which is why the TCR Championship has done good, because those cars can be used all over the world in many different championships. So they need to do something like that, I think, to mix it up a bit. Pascal Wehrlein has also confirmed that he's back today in the championship to sort of go for the title again, knocked it out of Formula 1. Doesn't mean he won't be back in Formula 1, but we'll just have to see how he gets on. So that'll be quite interesting. So it'll be an interesting year. And of course we know there are a few more manufacturers from DTM and Germany that are going to Formula E, but we'll talk about that in a second. Other national championships, got the V8 Supercars from Australia, got the brand new Holden Commodore, which looks pretty good. I've seen it testing. Again, some big name drivers. I think it'll be a bit closer again this year with sort of privateer teams, Team Penske versus Team Holden. It'll be very interesting. Of course, you've got the Bathurst 1000. So again, another sort of not much big changes, but the fans are happy with it, so you can't complain really. So it's good. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, you've got V6 engines coming into that championship as well. So we'll have to see how that gets on. Hopefully the sound's still good, but of course the championship was famous for being called the V8 Supercars, now just called Supercars. Still good, so we'll have to see how it gets on. Other national championships, so the British Touring Car Championship, it's going to be really good this year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to a few selected events like the Brands Hatch opening race, Brands Hatch finale, Alton Park, maybe Knockhill if I can, the media day at Donington Park. I'm really looking forward to the championship this year. It's going to be pretty close. Again, you've got like 4 manufacturers fighting out a 30 plus car grid. We've got a brand new Alfa Romeo joining, brand new Ford Focus RS, both released at Autosport International last month, which looks really good. There's a few new rookie names in the category, drivers and teams mixing it up. Gordon Shedden, one of the big names to move from BTCC to over to the WC, the World Touring Car Cup. So that's been quite interesting. So there's a spare seat at Honda, and remember he's been teammates with Matt Neal for 10 years, so that'll be quite interesting to see who they fill in that seat. Hopefully a new up and coming driver. I was kind of hoping it would be Tom Ingram, but he was confirmed at Speedworks again, so we'll have to see how that gets on. Who knows? Hopefully it's a good driver. I'm sure that Honda will pick a good driver because they've got the brand new Honda Civic, which they're going to also be using in the TCR World Cup as well. So that'll be quite interesting to see. And of course it's the 60th anniversary of the championships. We've got loads of other things. We've got classic touring cars racing. We've got special anniversary clothing and merchandise, and there's loads of other things they haven't released. But they have released a special event at Snetterton at that round, where the third race will be an endurance race, a bit longer, twice as many laps, be more interesting. So they have announced a few more things, but it should be really good. I'm really excited for this year. So that's really basically 2018 summed up. Of course, now looking to the future in electric championships, I know we're all thinking it's a bit boring, the sound isn't that good, but the actual, if you get away from the sound and look at the actual races, it actually is very exciting. Formula E have had some great races, and just recently with the Tech Cheetah 1-2 finish where they were crashing into each other trying to win, it was really good. And if you can get that championship nailed down a bit more, I think they'll be onto it. Of course, a couple of problems is they're going to be using a halo in this new season, but the car, if you take away the halo, it looks fantastic. It looks really good. Brand new Formula E car going to be used for this next season. It looks really good, a lot more slicker, a lot more futuristic, sort of. It just looks a lot better, and hopefully they'll make the sound a bit better and reduce it to one car per driver rather than two cars if we can get the batteries and electric sorted. So that'll be quite good. Of course, moto bikes, which I don't really talk about a lot, have just released today or yesterday that they're going to be running a brand new Moto E race championship for electric motorbikes. So they're again coming up to electricity. I mean, people are looking into it now, really going for it. FAA have just approved the new Tesla championship, which is like a GT3, GT4, I think spec car, which I saw at Autosport Show last year, which looked good, it looked very good. Sound again not there, you can just hear the tyres, but the car actually looked really good. So if they can get that nailed down, make it competitive, get a bit more excitement around it, I think it'll be really good. And of course, supporting the Formula E Championship is the new Jaguar I-Pace Championship, and that car looks great, looks really good. I love the livery, I love the fact what it looks like, the actual car body shape. Again, of course, it all comes down to sound, but I think the car will look really good, and it'll be really interesting to see how they get on working a sort of single make electric series, the full big electric. So you can see there's quite a few series emerging now, which looks like it could be the future. I mean, we've got hybrid technology and everything, but if they can get it nailed down, and remember, it only is the first few seasons of these sort of electric championships. I know Formula E have been running for about 4 seasons now, but it is still the start of it, and it takes time to build them up. And remember how long it took to start petrol championships ages ago, and diesel brought it in, and then coming up with the hybrids. It took a few years to make a transaction over to that. So give it a bit longer, and you might have something really good to watch. So hopefully all that will work out well. I'm looking forward to this season for everything kicks off.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets?